See.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to our special Monday edition of Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook with you this morning. And we have this is a great information-filled hour, as always. But today we get to talk to the folks from Direction Home, Akron Canton, and some folks who work with them to really be able to help offer services to those who need it. So we are going to bring in Abby Morgan from Direction Home, and also Mary Helen Horrigan is joining us from Mobile Meals. And we have Mary Chen from Asia Incorporated, and I hope that we can get Jennifer. And Jennifer Canny Beebe is working to get on, so we'll have her on as soon as we can get her. But good morning, ladies. How are you today?
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so glad that we could. Abby, why don't we just start with you, and you can maybe give us a little idea of Direction Home. Tell us a little bit about Direction Home.
Sure. So Direction Home, Akron Canton Area Agency on Aging, we are a nonprofit organization dedicated to serving older adults, people with disabilities, and family caregivers in the Summit, Stark, Portage, and Wayne County areas. We are your area agency on aging, but we are also part of a statewide and national network. So there are over 600 area agencies on aging all over the country, covering every county, every township. So it's important to know that there is a local federally designated area agency on aging in your backyard, wherever you may be.
And that's awesome, because I think people have thoughts about all the different things they need, but don't realize that it's out there for them to get help, right?
Right. So there are, I would say one of the number one questions that I get, whether it's family or friends, is how do I know what's available out there? How do I know? I have questions about my mom. I have questions about how I can stay in my house as my needs change. But a lot of times people don't actually know what options there are or what questions to ask. And sometimes that can be scary. So we like to think of ourselves at Direction Home as the front door to your answers on aging. We have a call center as well as an assessment team that is there to kind of walk you through even just starting down the road of, I think that I may need help with navigating the stairs in my house, and then going from there and having that conversation. So we really want to make that initial step and reach out comfortable and conversational, but also making sure that we're helping navigate what could be some very complex programs, eligibility requirements, for different services that may be available in your community.
Yeah, so this is, like you say, the gateway to finding all of the different things that might be out there. So if you have a question, ask it, because certainly if you can't help them, you'll be able to say, maybe these folks can, right?
That's correct. Yes. So we want to make sure that we are part of the network, and we have many of our partners here on the screen with us today. And just kind of help doing warm handoffs to different service providers based on what your individual needs may be.
And again, we'll welcome in now Jennifer Canny Beebe. How are you, Jennifer?
Good morning. I'm good. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, glad we could have you as well. Last month was Older Americans Month, and let's talk about Flip the Script on Aging. Abby, maybe you can explain that a little bit.
Sure. So every May is Older Americans Month. Every year there is a theme. This year's theme is something that I think should stick with all of us. You certainly can't talk about flipping the script on aging without talking about the stigma surrounding aging. We have a lot of age-friendly policies and initiatives in our communities, but even so, the stigma surrounding aging can be pervasive, and really incorrect perceptions about how we experience aging is really robbing us of value and opportunity for innovation in our communities among our different businesses. I'm a mom of two, and I think one of the things that stuck with me was a colleague saying, at every age that your kids grow is your favorite age and it's your favorite time. And I personally experienced that to be true as my kids have grown older. But I don't imagine that stops at a specific age. Why would we think that does? But at some point, we do start bemoaning celebrating another birthday or our older age, and flipping the script really is asking the question, why is that? It's not about staying young, it's about longevity. There is this theory that indicates that when you are engaged and interested in your surroundings, your perception of time lengthens because you're in the moment. When you are more engaged, you across your lifespan, you can have this perception of a very long life, and the quality of our years impacts how we perceive time. I think basically it is that the best is yet to come should mean eternal life for us, right? And to me, that is what flipping the script on aging should be.
All right, and you had mentioned that we have some of your partners with us today, and so let's kind of just go around the room, and everybody can kind of explain how their partnership interacts with you guys. And we'll start with Mary Helen Horrigan, who is with Mobile Meals. Tell us a little bit about Mobile Meals.
Hi, Mary Helen Horgan, and I'm from Mobile Meals, and we partner with Direction Home because we're the one of the few people that deliver hot meals to our seniors every day, 5 days a week. And it's important for us to be able to get in and have that social interaction. And we also have community healthcare workers that go in and see our clients on a regular basis.
And I would imagine, for being able to get meals to seniors is one of like the most important things to do, correct?
I always view the meal as just the calling card, and the calling card is opening up the floodgate of what is needed in the home to be able to keep you in the home. And that's where the partnership with Direction Home really opens up. So we bring the meal, and then we have the candid conversation after we've gained the trust on how can we keep you in the home? How can we keep you safe? How can we keep and get you access to all of the resources that surround us? I mean, Summit, Stark, Portage, we are resource rich, but referral poor. So a lot of these people aren't aware of HEAP. They're not aware of that they are able to get extra services in. So it's great when we get in there and we're able to set them up and have that safety. And it's a huge relief to the children that are taking care of them, that are still working, that are still, or even if they have distance caregivers. I think the one thing about what I've realized with this position is that on how many people don't have people in the background that are helping them. Yeah. So it's important that the community takes care of neighbors, taking care of neighbors, community taking care of the community.
Mm-hmm. All right, and May Chen, you are with Asia Incorporated. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you do. Can you hear us, May? Maybe not.
May's mic is.
Oh, you might be muted. Your mic might be muted.
Okay.
There
I'm one of the co-founders of Asia, and since I have retired, and my second returnment project from retirement is founding of Jinho Community Incorporated. It's a senior center, and just as a new agency, I really appreciate the partnership that we have Direction Home They have supported us and guided us into a lot of the service we want to deliver. And I think most important is that we have been engaged in many of their trainings for our staff, because our staff traditionally they have not had experience in mainstream system in service delivery. And I think the trainings that Direction Home provide is very important in building our agency capacity to serve the many Asian groups that we do. And and one thing is that our partnership is increasing the visibility of our population, and I will address that more later in the conversation. Thank you.
Okay, great. And Jennifer Canny Beebe, you are with us from Vantage Aging. So talk a little bit about that.
Good morning again. Yes, our Vantage Aging community has a program, Meals on Wheels of Northeast Ohio, and we have been around since 1973. We serve 11 counties. 4 main counties are Stark County, Summit County, Wayne, and Portage County. And I think we have a great relationship with Direction Home because of our communication. They're wonderful communicators. They give us the information they need about the referrals that we receive, and we try to give them all the details we can when we've seen any changing condition, maybe of a client or something like that.
All right, we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we'll talk about how all of this is integrated and so much more about Direction Home, because a lot of important information. Make sure you get to our Facebook page and check out the video, and we'll give you more information on how you can contact the folks at Direction Home Akron Canton. Stay tuned. It is Spotlight right here on 1480 WHBC.
At Direction Home, Akron Canton Area Agency on Aging, we're flipping the script on aging, from home and community resources to volunteer opportunities and family caregiver support. We're empowering older adults to live and thrive independently in the places they want to call home. Call our Family Resource Center at 877-770-5558 to learn the answers to all your aging-related questions, or visit our website at dhad.org. That's dhad.org.
This is Mike Frazier, Senior Pastor at Canton Baptist Temple. I would like to personally invite you to worship with us at 10:15 this Sunday morning in our worship center located at 515 Whipple Avenue in Canton, Ohio. If you cannot be with us in person, please tune in to our broadcast right here on WHBC at 8:30 on Sunday mornings. For more information about our ministries, you can visit us at cantonbaptist.org. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Crown keeps you warm and we keep you cool.
We're here for you day or night.
Summer is right around the corner, and if your home isn't ready for the heat, now's the perfect time to upgrade and save big with Carrier Cool Cash. At Crown Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, you can save up to $2,300 in rebates when you invest in a qualifying Carrier heating or cooling system. That's serious cash back for serious comfort. Whether you're replacing an outdated system or installing something brand new, there's never been a better time to beat the heat and put money back in your pocket. But don't wait. This limited time offer is only available for purchases made between March 3rd and June 27th, 2025. Call 330-269-5499 or visit crowngroupohio.com to schedule your free estimate today. Crown Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, bringing cool savings to Northeast Ohio homes. Carrier, turn to the experts. Ohio license number 27133.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling. You'll be sure you have the best. Crown Heating and Cooling. Call us now. We'll do the rest. Crown.
Have you or someone you know been impacted by sexual violence? Compass Rape Crisis offers free crisis intervention, counseling and services, and prevention programs in Stark County for anyone impacted by sexual violence. For more information or to make an appointment, call 330-437-3705. That's 330-437-3705. Compass is here to support you.
Are you facing plumbing problems? Trust the plumbing experts at Koblenz Plumbing, Northeast Ohio's reliable choice for over 30 years. At Koblenz, quality is our promise, backed by our 5-star Google rating. And right now, we're offering an unbeatable deal. $0 diagnostic fee with any repair during normal business hours. From leaky faucets to underground projects, we've got you covered. Hot water heaters, water filtration, sump pumps, and more. Why wait? Call Koblenz Plumbing today at 330-877-8989. Koblenz Plumbing, your trusted plumbing experts for over 30 years.
JT again for my friends at RoofMax. Think you need a new roof? Think again. RoofMax can save 9 out of 10 roofs at a fraction of the cost of replacing it. Call 330-500-9505 and mention me, JT, for an exclusive offer of $500 off or online at maxyourroof.com. Remember to mention JT for $500 off at RoofMax. Call 330-500-9505 or maxyourroof.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
5005 Rockside, Cleveland. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to our Monday edition of Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. Don't forget, we are live on Facebook at this very moment, so you can check us out there if you would like to do that. We're talking Direction Home, Akron Canton, and we have several guests with us this morning. Abby Morgan with Direction Home. We have Mary Helen Horrigan with Mobile Meals. We have Jennifer Canny Beebe with Vantage Aging, and also May Chen with Asia Incorporated. And welcome back, ladies. There's so many different things to talk about concerning, caregivers and family members and nutrition and just a lot of stuff to discuss. But Abby, maybe fill us in on the Older Americans Act, because that can be very important, right?
Right. So it really is the foundation for who we are as a network, who we are as an area agency on aging, but also informs the partnerships and the community ties and funding that we have to our community partners, like we have on the screen today. The Older Americans Act really was born out of the Johnson Great Society area or initiatives back in the 60s, and really was born out of this realization that there was no national effort to address the unique barriers that were faced by seniors in our older generations. And it was really impacting the ability of community members to ensure independence of their neighbors, quality of life. And so it really grew up at the same time as Medicare. But the Older Americans Act is not an entitlement program. It really relies on a limited set of federal funds, but then blending and braiding community resources, state funding, local funding, to fill the gaps that are needed to support those critical programs in the community, like our nutrition programs, our senior meals program. The Older Americans Act is one of the largest funders of our mobile meals, Meals on Wheels, the programs that we are talking about today. So it's important to understand there's a long history to these programs, but also a lot of work going into how they get coordinated at the local level.
And how does that money get here, or that help and assistance get here?
Sure, absolutely. So the Older Americans Act is federally funded, and that funding flows from the Department of Health and Human Services, DC, into our state units on aging across the country, and then down to our local area agencies on aging. Part of what we are required to do is understand the needs of our communities. So we do a lot of community needs assessments. We look at a lot of data and demographics around the population 60 and over, as well as our caregiver population, to understand how many people are there, what are the needs, how can we use this funding to support that? And then we are able to allocate those federal resources, matching them with state dollars and sometimes other local dollars to fund those programs. So from federal, state to local area agency on aging, we're putting about $4 million a month across all of our different funding sources back into the community to support these senior programs.
And while we have a minute, mention if somebody's sitting out there listening, how they can get in touch with you guys. We want to make sure we get that out there.
Absolutely. We like to think of ourselves kind of as a no wrong door community. You can reach out to us directly at our Aging and Disability Resource Center, that number on the screen, but also you can directly call the screening department at 877-770-5558. And that really is your first step to having a conversation with someone on the phone, and understanding what your needs are and what may be available. From there, we will likely connect people to other local community resources, such as the providers we have with us today, or others, depending on what your need may be.
And again, you have a Facebook page also and a website for folks to go to with a lot of really good information on the website too, right?
Right. And you can also ask for someone to reach out to you through the website at dhad.org/refer.
And I want to be able, and we'll do this after our break at the bottom of the hour here, coming up in just a few minutes, but I want to go kind of around the horn again and have everybody talk about their connection. But Mary Helen, while we still have a few moments, talk about how the integration works with Direction Home. What's that process like for them and for you?
Well, it's kind of twofold. We'll get a referral from Direction Home, or we give a referral to Direction Home. Okay. So Mobile Meals is kind of part of, it's part of a larger social service. We just merged with Access Point Community Health Center, and Family and Community Services merged in January of 2024. So that put us all under one roof. So that allowed us to look at everyone who comes into like Access Point, which is a federally qualified health center, and to address food insecurity and so we would be referring out. I always go, is it an internal referral or an external referral? So I'm constantly going back and forth and being able to address that. So that's where we bring our community healthcare workers, who are like a complementary to the Direction Home case managers. So we'll get the referral over to them, and then we'll start the services, and to be able to get the, I always call it wraparound services, because we're not just bringing the meal, we're going to be bringing medical services, behavioral health services, getting seniors linked to dental health services, and getting linked to, we utilize the Vantage Aging, helps us unbelievably. So it's using all the services in our community.
All right. And so we'll take our break for the news right now. And when we come back, we'll talk more about Direction Home Akron Canton, but we're also going to talk more about Vantage Aging and Asia, and find out how they integrate with Direction Home as well. It's Spotlight right here on 1480
At Direction Home, Akron Canton Area Agency on Aging, we're flipping the script on aging, from home and community resources to volunteer opportunities and family caregiver support. We're empowering older adults to live and thrive independently in the places they want to call home. Call our Family Resource Center at 877-770-5558 to learn the answers to all your aging-related questions, or visit our website at dhad.org. That's dhad.org.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, starting today, State Route 212 will close 1 mile east of Zoar between Tusky Valley Road and State Route 800 for a culvert replacement project. Closure is set for 30 days. Detours will be posted. Federal immigration authorities arrested 44 people across LA for immigration violations on Friday, sparking protests and clashes that continue in that area. The raids targeted workplaces like a clothing warehouse in the Fashion District and a Home Depot in the Westlake District. At the clothing warehouse, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents in tactical gear used flashbang grenades and pepper spray to push back a crowd of protesters trying to block their vehicles. Tom Harmon, the President Trump's border czar, warned that anyone could face arrest if they interfere with ICE operations. 2 tourists had to be rescued after climbing down a cliff near San Francisco to try to get their dropped cell phone. Tourists dropped the phone over the edge while they were enjoying a view of the Golden Gate Bridge, and then they got stuck climbing down to go get it. Rescuers used ropes in an hour-long operation to save them. The tourists, who are from Seattle, were not hurt, but they were given a ticket and could face fines of up to $300 each. Guardians, they got the win over Astros yesterday, and they'll play the Reds tonight. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. Going to be under sunshine at first, giving way to heavy thunderstorms that could bring damaging winds and hail as we get to a high of 70 this afternoon. Then tonight we're clear to partly cloudy at a low of 56. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, 75. Hazy sunshine Wednesday, 83. You can always get the latest weather news and forecast when and how you want by downloading our free AccuWeather app. This is meteorologist Jeff Nordine for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
On Friday, June 13th at 7:30 p.m., the Canton Symphony Orchestra, in partnership with Enrichment of Stark County, present the second annual Gospel Joined Symphony. This will be an epic presentation on stage, including the full symphony directed by Jeremy Winston, the JW Chorale, and the Enrichment Choir under the direction of Darius McBride. Witness as orchestral and gospel come together to inspire and uplift the community. Tickets start at just $25 and are available by calling 330-452-2094 or at cantonsymphony.org. Child and student tickets are available at no cost over the phone.
At the Stark County Health Department, the nursing team is there for you and your family, offering immunizations and reproductive health services, support for children and young adults with complex medical needs, and maternal child-centered programs like Thrive, Cribs for Kids, and WIC. They help you navigate community resources and connect you to care. The Stark County Health Department is there to help. Call today to make an appointment. 330-493-9928. That's 330-493-9928.
Are you facing plumbing problems? Trust the plumbing experts at Koblenz Plumbing, Northeast Ohio's reliable choice for over 30 years. At Koblenz, quality is our promise, backed by our 5-star Google rating. And right now, we're offering an unbeatable deal. $0 diagnostic fee with any repair during normal business hours. From leaky faucets to underground projects, we've got you covered. Hot water heaters, water filtration, sump pumps, and more. Why wait? Call Koblenz Plumbing today at 330-877-8989. Koblenz Plumbing, your trusted plumbing experts for over 30 years.
Hi, this is Victor at Hayden's Auto Glass. Smart windshield technology is changing the way we drive and repair our cars. Replacing windshields will never be the same. 40 years ago, on-site windshield installs were new and convenient. Today, they are old, outdated, and dangerous. The windshield-mounted camera must be recalibrated. Ignoring this can cause safety system failures. Trust Hayden's to keep your car running safely. At Hayden's Auto Glass, the difference is clear.
Hayden's Auto Glass. The difference is clear.
Spring into freshness with Burndale Water Experts for clean, soft water you can trust. Call 330-455-9466 or visit burndalewater.com. Pure water, pure peace of mind.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And we are back on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC. Direction Home, Akron Canton is our spotlight today. And we are welcoming in Abby Morgan. For those of you who may just be joining us, Abby Morgan from Direction Home, Mary Helen Horrigan from Mobile Meals, Jennifer Canny Beebe from Vantage Aging, and Mary Chen from Asia Incorporated. And guys, there's so much out there, and people think about so many different things when it comes to, taking care of family members or finding services to help them, or people finding services for themselves. So, but I know that all of you have a different perspective. You're all looking at it from your perspective and the things that you do in serving others. But Jennifer, we'll start with you. Talk about Vantage Aging and talk about, what you guys see from your vantage point as serving seniors in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things we see when you talk about referrals or people who call in from the community who just want to learn what does Meals on Wheels offer and what are we all about is that often they'll need more than just meals. So I think all of us spend a lot of time referring folks either to Direction Home or other resources in the community that would be a benefit to them that they've never needed before, that they don't know how to access. And so that's very important, I think, that we do that. Also, I would say one of the ways we partner with Direction Home is that, Monday through Friday, we're seeing their clients and checking on them and can provide information. We've had some circumstances where, someone's had a fall and they think they're okay. And our driver or volunteer convinces them, I think you need to go to the hospital. Let's get your family member on the phone. And, they call us back and they're like, gosh, I really did need to go. I didn't realize I had, another medical condition that was going on. Or we find them and they're on the floor and they tell us, well, I knew my Meals on Wheels volunteer was coming today, so I knew I would be okay. So it's really more than a meal that we provide in combination and connection with Direction Home.
Yeah, full service for sure. And May, I want to talk to you a little bit about Asia. I'd ask you the same question. Talk about your services, but also what is your vantage point in seeing seniors that need some assistance?
Well, first of all, our seniors in our community has been greatly underserved, okay, due to culture and language. And so I think the important thing is, and also we have to understand what their help-seeking behaviors are. It's very different for different groups, okay? And also, I think being new in the community, the whole issue of trust is very important. And I think Asia and Jinho is trying to be the middle person to help them build trust with organizations such as Direction Home, because there's so many services that they can benefit from. Sometimes you need to introduce the services one at a time because it could be so overwhelming for them. So right now, our relationship with Direction Home is a focus on adult day services. And they have been more than supportive in helping us with this new service. And I think with this new service, as it has grown, we're also reaching out to a community that normally has been not visible or on the radar. And so, we can build other services on top of it that Direction Home can provide. Right now, we have congregate meals through Vantage, and also as far as home delivered meals, Asia was involved during COVID, and we contracted with many different food vendors from the communities to prepare food that is acceptable, to the elders that we want to serve. But now I think home delivered meals, Asia is not involved, but somehow some of the seniors are getting them through other programs. So I'm sure the home delivered meals and other nutrition programs, we can benefit a lot more. However, I think we need to begin to have a better grasp of what the needs are and how we can be culturally relevant in the service we deliver. Because right now, I think it is important to understand the Asian Pacific Island population has grown 90% since 2010, from 10,000 to right now over 23,000. And in terms of percentage, how many are elders? I would safely say at least 20 to 25%. So we have a lot of work to do too at Asia and Jinho. And I really look forward to Direction Home supporting our work.
Yeah, you make a great point about that, because people who maybe have a language barrier or, that makes it even harder for them to reach out and seek help, even family members, so that's something that's very important on your end, I would imagine.
I just wanted to say something. Perhaps it's very hard to say what the Asian population elders need. But one thing you can safely say, they're very diverse, because we are 65 nationalities with over 200 languages. And we at Asia are still learning. And I don't know how many nationality groups we have in the area Direction Home serve, but I know in Cuyahoga County, they told me there were 55, and that blows my mind. Yeah. 55 nationalities with different languages.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And also, Mary Helen, we wanted to talk more about managing chronic diseases. That's something that you wanted to mention as well.
I did. I wanted to drive that home too, is because, besides the food insecurity, the social isolation, that the pandemic left these seniors with, and the changes in what, yes, they've gotten, more into their Social Security check, but with a bringing up the Social Security check, you may be getting taken away on your SNAP benefits. So these people are managing their diabetes, their asthma, obesity, heart issues, and their medications, all with maybe one or two, our meals that we're delivering, and then they live in a food desert, and then they may only be able to catch one bus if they're in one of the high rises, and if they miss that bus, then they're managing it only on what we're bringing. So that's a conversation that's always it's always happening. Is, do you have enough food? What's on your what's your med management, and how can we communicate with your physician to be able to make sure that you've got enough to eat to be able to manage these meds? Because we all know what some of these side effects, what these meds can do to us. And if we just bring in these meals and just leave, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a great point. Abby, I also wanted you to talk a little bit more about, the pandemic and all of that, managing through that, and how that's affected your services at all.
Yeah, both Mary Helen and May brought up, the impact of the pandemic era programs and funding. There was this recognition we need to increase access to services while everyone was staying home, right? So there was this investment in additional funding for home delivered meals, making flexible options available so people could grab meals from our congregate sites and take them home. I really go back to the reason that we're able to do what we do is because we have the partners around the table, like the folks on the screen that you have here. And we know that there's really no one approach to serving individuals, particularly no one approach that'll work for all, as we heard from May, and we heard from Jennifer and Mary Helen about what the unique needs are. So we rely on our partners to be able to meet those unique needs, but also recognizing that those unique needs haven't changed just because the pandemic has ended. Those needs were there. We were just able to expand and kind of flex how we were able to serve people during the pandemic. But we do have serious concerns about what things will look like going forward, because pandemic era relief, some of the funding that was available because of the pandemic, will be expended by the end of this federal fiscal year. So we're really looking at a cliff that we are heading towards in order to maintain the access to services that our community members have been able to see over the last couple of years. And really, that need's not going to change. There's a lot that can be done, but we need to continue to be able to do it.
All right, we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about Direction Home, Akron Canton, and services provided by all these wonderful agencies. We'll do that here in just a few minutes, right here on 1480 WHBC.
Breaking and trending. Here's why you should listen. Search 1480 WHBC on Facebook.
It's just good.
Find more right now on WHBC.com.
At Direction Home, Akron Canton Area Agency on Aging, we're flipping the script on aging, from home and community resources to volunteer opportunities and family caregiver support. We're empowering older adults to live and thrive independently in the places they want to call home. Call our Family Resource Center at 877-770-5558 to learn the answers to all your aging-related questions, or visit our website at dhad.org. That's dhad.org.
244-6639-330 Chimney. For all of your fireplace maintenance, remodel, and restoration needs, call the Ohio Chimney Company at 330-244-6639. 244-6639-330 Chimney. 244-6639-330 Chimney.
Start healing sooner. When you need surgery, we're here for you. Here to help you put aside the excuses so you don't put off the surgery you need any longer. Altman is here with more board-certified surgeons in more locations close to home. State-of-the-art robot-assisted surgeries, along with a wide scope of surgical procedures and treatments. All here for you. And all here at Altman.
Looking for unbeatable deals on top brands? Head to Family Wholesale in Canton's 30th Street Plaza. With 28,000 square feet of national brand merchandise, apparel, home goods, health and beauty products, and more, you'll save up to 70% off retail prices. As Stark County's largest liquidation store, Family Wholesale is your one-stop shop for incredible bargains. Don't miss out. Visit Family Wholesale today in Canton's 30th Street Plaza. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exciting new deals weekly.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster, which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. A wireless company that actually stands for something.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CLEAN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CLEAN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CLEAN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight, our final segment this morning, Direction Home, Akron Canton. And we're live on Facebook right now as well. You can check us out there. I want to kind of get an idea from all of you, or Abby, maybe you can just address this for us. But, what do you get the most calls for, or, what are people really looking for the most when they get in touch with you guys?
So I would say our most requested services really are around meals, transportation, or how to get to a doctor's appointment, but also assistance with care coordination in the home. What are the services that I need to stay and age in place at home, whether that's personal care or home modification, but questions around how to coordinate and access that. So those are some of our biggest requests that we see through our Aging and Disability Resource Center.
And so if folks want to get involved, I mean, I'm sure there's some great opportunities out there. How does that work?
Sure. So there are a lot of ways to be involved, not just with Direction Home, but also with our community providers, each of which have, really strong and engaging volunteer programs. I've heard from volunteers from each of these organizations. And it really is a great way to kind of get involved across generations. And that's something that we're really looking to support. We know from community surveys that people lack, but are looking for opportunities to engage across our generations. But really, right now, our focus at Direction Home and with our local nutrition providers are really raising awareness around funding sources to maintain access to meals and our older adults who need them. We are seeing those funds expire from the pandemic and are looking to make sure that we are educating people about the meals program, where that funding comes from, and what the status of that funding is, but also providing opportunities for people to donate or volunteer to extend the reach of those meals dollars. And where necessary, advocate and understand that we should not be going backwards when it comes to funding these programs for nutrition. It's something that people shouldn't have to worry about today or tomorrow where their next meal is coming from.
We just have a few minutes left. I'd like to go to each of you, and maybe, if you have something that you want to add to the conversation before we have to go. Jennifer, I'll start with you. Share with us a little bit.
Yeah, I think Abby touched on a really important point, is that aging in place, people really do want to stay in their homes and remain as independent as possible. And I think everyone on the call here that, that is part of the mission to help folks do that. And I can see our volunteers are already arriving to wait for those meals to be delivered today. And we are always in need of volunteers. We do have a very heavy volunteer model for our delivery services. So if you want to volunteer, please reach out to us at Vantage Aging.
All right, Mary Helen.
I would definitely say get to know your neighbors, make sure you know your neighbors, and make sure we come during the day where you may be at work and you don't even know that these people may or may have not, may no longer be getting the mobile meals. So ask your neighbors if they need help. Make sure that we get in touch, go back to your grassroots. And another thing I'm going to drive home, and it may be a little bit politically incorrect, but question your political constituents on what they're doing to support Direction Home and Vantage Aging and Asia Inc. and Mobile Meals. Question them, put them on the spot, have these conversations. We need a lot of help, and it's just not going to be the people at this table, but I'm hoping our community sees that, because one thing that's not going to stop is that everyone's going to age, everyone. So I just hope that we all can be on the same page. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on today. May, what about you?
Well, as I said, there exists a lot of gaps in the service delivery for our seniors in our community. And I think we need to make a concerted effort, to continue to address what these gaps are. And to make the service more inclusive, culturally relevant, and also in a way that also help address what other needs that they have. And we like to mobilize the communities themselves, okay, to be engaged, because Asia cannot do it by itself, Jinho cannot do it by itself, Direction Home cannot do it by itself. It takes all of us to work together and be united into how to help our elders age well in this new home that they have found in this country.
And again, if you want to become a volunteer, you want to get engaged, you want to find different ways to help, you can absolutely do that. Or if you're looking for assistance, obviously, that's a really important thing as well. Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate you coming on today. A lot of great information.
Thank you very much.
At Direction Home, Akron Canton Area Agency on Aging,